I'm trying to form like a mental picture of this because so Aries is not only the way I would be happiest, the way my true self or something like that. I struggle. It's
The
hard.
spark of your spirit is Aries. Is kind of how I feel about
The
it.
essence of me.
Yeah.
Got it. Also, the way I receive is Aries.
Yes, your moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way I uh, love
Mm-hmm.
is Aries.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's hard.
The way you communicate.
Yeah, the way I communicate is also Aries.
Yeah.
But I do it dressed as a Sagittarius.
Yeah. But however, they are very compatible blended energies because all fire signs,
Oh,
all.
that makes so much
Yeah.
sense because it's like I have this crazy power
Mm-hmm.
of being able to say pretty abrasive things. And but nobody seems to be upset with me for it.
Because it's a benevolent energy.
Mm.
Jupiter is just like, it's called the zodiac's great benefic. It just is like blessings and luck and jolly and happy go lucky. Sags are just so happy go lucky sometimes, and they just talk a lot.
That is me in my social life, 100%.
Yeah.
And I wonder sometimes about that because
Yeah.
sometimes I think about, I feel sometimes like, I feel like if I said that, I wouldn't have been judged harshly, but that person was really judged harshly for saying that.
Right.
You know?
Because you didn't mean it. Like, people can sense intent.
That's so bizarre to me.
Sensing intent?
It's not, it's just like, for some reason, it's more bizarre when it's me. Like, how do you know that I mean this from a benevolent place?
Oh, because I can read your energy.
Yeah.
That's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I do. It's just,
you can just tell it's like a thing.
it is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like when I open my mouth, it's very not like the way I am in the group. Like if you were to take a snapshot or like a video with it's just behavior and no talking, then I do come across as this like really happy, jolly, happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah.
But if you record this conversation, I am not like that. I am very much direct. Well,
Right.
maybe direct isn't the right word.
I know what you mean, though. You're not direct, but you are direct, actually. You're honest. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really find it necessary to hide you are because, like, you're a baby that hasn't experienced, like, that kind of psychic pain. And not, like, karmic pain. I don't want to say psychic because, Aries still has feelings. Very impatient, rash feelings at times. But, it's still valid, I guess.
Very often, especially with any relationship I care about, I feel like I don't have an option except to be honest. And then I feel really bad about that.
You shouldn't.
I feel bad about the fact that it's going to hurt or it might hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, as I've gotten older, I've learned that I don't get to choose how people interpret things.
That's actually, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's actually, I never thought about this before. That is kind of an Aries trait in a lot of ways, because Aries is so concerned with the self and the ego and I that you're just like worrying about this poor little person's feelings and how they're going to react to what I say. I have all this power. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's very egocentric.
Yeah.
It's very narcissistic in a way.
Yeah. But it's good that you recognize that.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I've learned the sort of...
It's my favorite phrase, as I've gotten older.
Yeah, because it takes time. And I've just sort of realized that even though I don't think that feeling is ever going to go away, that I have that feeling, that it is not my responsibility. It is not about me, how they choose to react to something that I say that I mean.
Right.
And, you know?
No, absolutely.
Doesn't mean I don't say bad things I need to apologize for. Of course I do.
Yeah.
I feel like I usually do. I can't think of many situations where I don't apologize. Some of that, I wonder about that.
About what? Apologizing?
Well, some of it I do give credit to my parents, because probably the worst thing I did as a kid was gave one of my best friends a black eye. He kept spraying me with a hose. I warned him. I had to keep changing my clothes, and I warned him. I was like, if you do it again, I'm going to hit you. And I did. And then my parents made me go walk alone to his house and apologize with his parents there. And it was like, I really didn't want to do it, but I learned a really valuable lesson.
Yeah.
I felt better about it. We were still
Yeah.
friends after.
Yeah.
It felt like I owned it. You know, I made it
Did
about me
he
again.
apologize for
Um,
being a little jerk?
I don't know. I feel like at that point, I feel like he didn't need to. But yeah, like I did make it about me again
Yeah.
because I felt empowered by that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's like
But
my whole life is better
right.
if I actually own my.
Right.
If I know something to be true, which is that I should not have punched you,
Yes.
and I do feel bad about it, and I am sorry that I did that, saying it is better for me.
Instead of worrying about what the quote unquote right thing is to do, like a justice situation, I struggle with that a lot too because I always just feel much better if I'm interacting with people from a place of just like, I don't get pissed off that easily. Should I like really think about, is this person maybe is hurting me? I'm not exactly sure. You know, like some of my friends get really angry with me. But I have a Sagittarius moon and I'm happy-go-lucky.
That's interesting.
You know, and I think about like the ways that I react to the world and the, I guess, emotional wounds that I receive. I think about them in a philosophical way. However, if I look at my shadow, then sometimes I see like, yeah, this person fucking hurt me and I'm mad about it, but I also don't really get that I'm mad about it. And I don't like, anger is not an emotion. Not that I'm uncomfortable with it, but I'm just not used to it.
Anger is the shadow I have worked on that I feel the most comfortable with.
You have a lot of anger.
I definitely, and I have struggled with anger, especially when I was younger, and a lot of it, the click for me was realizing that looking at it was the only way to fix it, to move forward, because I was getting angry, and I realized that a lot of why I was angry was that I wasn't dealing with how angry I was, or I wasn't.
You were repressing it?
Yes, I wasn't accepting that I am an angry person.
Okay.
And I don't feel angry anymore.
Yeah.
I have the ability to get angry, but I now feel like it's within my control. You know,
it doesn't serve you as it once did, maybe.
Yeah, well, it does serve me. It didn't used to serve. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like it now is something that I can say, I can let out the appropriate amount of this in this situation because I have a right to be angry about this. And I don't have a right to let that anger control me, but I do have a right to let it out. And not that I'm a perfect person. I definitely have gotten angry and regretted my behavior, but that's the shadow work. That's my clearest example of that because, man, my early 20s, I was an angry person.
You do have one of the things that I was like, there's a lot of placements here that are going to cause anger issues for you, and it's not all just the Aries stuff. You know what I mean? It's not all that stuff. There's a lot of other stuff. Like once we get into like aspects of the planets, which is, you see these lines over here on the chart.
I do.
Yeah, these are like the angles that certain planets form within each other, and some of them form things that cause like anger between these planets, and some of them are like make them besties.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, totally.
Let's do that because I'm very interested.
Totally.
Anger is something I have. My own anger is something I have really thought about, so I definitely will have a lot of thoughts about it. Which ones do you think would cause it? I like how you phrased it as anger between the planets.
Yeah.
Because it's
the relationship between the planets. You know
and
what
that's
I mean?
an internal thing.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, that was a big click for me too. Was like, I feel like I'm angry at this person or at the world, but the truth is, I'm angry at myself. I'm angry at parts of myself, or parts of myself are angry with each other. And yeah, that rings very true to me.
Okay.